Let's get some prize picks in today, guys. Another rough night last night. The stack on Van Vliet and Dylan Brooks did not hit together. So Van Vliet did end up getting the assists. I said 8 was fair for him. Pretty good prop there. Dylan Brooks did not pull through with the 11 points. As for Bankero and Suggs, did not hit together. And I even checked Suggs. He only got 1 assist last night. So not a good stack there. But Poole and Tyus Jones did hit together in the wrong direction. They both went over instead of both going under. But you're going to see I'm going to take the stack again tonight. And yeah, so 7 assists on Tyus Jones, 26 points on Jordan Poole. He finally showed up. As for the other entry, this one was a bit unfortunate. Tyreek Hill, Tua should have hit together. Tua did not throw a ball in the whole fourth quarter. And you could see how every yard counts. We missed by 6 yards here on the over. As for Ingram and Zion, the luck did come there because Ingram actually got his last assist in the last second of the game. Paired perfectly with that Zion at 32 points. As for Breece Hall and Tim Boyle, this stack did also hit together, of course in the wrong direction. The goal was for Breece Hall to get the rush attempts and Boyle to get less passes, but the absolute opposite happened. Breece Hall was not running and Boyle was passing a lot. So stacks did hit in this game, except for the 201, which probably should have hit. And it was good off the board for today. I have some college football, some stacks here, as well as some NBA. But I'm just going to get into this first one that I'm not going to be playing it because I already played these guys in different entries. I'm going to show you some thought process on what stacks I would take. And it's these two guys here, Joe Milton and Athan here. The goal is to grab them with their key wide receivers. Here we got Ramel and Squirrel White. Now with Squirrel White and Joe Milton, these guys have hit together in the past 4 out of 5 games. And Ramel Keaton, they hit 5 out of 5 times. And whether you're wondering on the over or under, you want to take the overs just because if you're grabbing unders, Prizepicks is going to vary your payouts. I'll show you once I build the slip up. But Athan, we're going to grab also with his 2 receivers. With this Brevin guy, they hit 6 out of 6 times in the same direction. And with Daniel Jackson, I believe it was 4 out of 5. Let me just check my notes real quick. But Daniel Jackson, yeah, 4 out of 5 times in the past games. Now, if you really wanted to grab unders on all these guys, you're going to see Prizepicks going to look 100 into 1.4K. Instead of if you're grabbing all overs, they're going to give you the correct payout, which is 100 into 2.5K. Now, like I said, I'm not going to be playing this entry because I already have Joe Milton and Nathan in 2 different entries. But if you want to pair this is a great slip to be putting all together. Triple stack on Minnesota and triple stack on Tennessee. Another thing to note is that we are getting 2 extra passing yards on Nathan here. You can see on the sportsbooks, he's at 172.5. We're getting him at 170.5. And yes, every point counts, like you saw with Tua. So for Joe Milton, we're actually getting 1 point deficit, which is not great. But like I said, you just can't be taking the unders on these because they're going to vary your payouts. So 247.5 on the sportsbooks. We're getting 240.5. So that's the first slip that I would go with. But again, I'm not going to lock it in. But if you guys are interested in that, that will be a good one to go with. Now, the second slip, we're going to start it off with some college football, but go into NBA to end it off. And we're going to go with Rocco on the under 205.5 passing yards. Now, I know 90% of people, they open up Prizepicks, they check the last 5, they see this guy has went over in the past 4 to 5. They see he's averaging 244.2 in the past 5. Why would you go under? Now, it's really important to understand that Prizepicks is not your friend. They put these past 5 games because they know people think like that. They know people are going to check, oh, he went green past 5, he went green past 4 to 5. Let me grab the over. Now, they automatically hired his pass yards because they're expecting people to grab the over, and the over is less likely to hit. And I know the over is less likely to hit because if you check him on the sports books, his passing yards is set at 197.5. That is a whole 8 extra passing yards. It doesn't seem like a lot. Look how much we lost by Tua yesterday. If we got an extra 8 passing yards on Tua's prop, we would have cashed, right? So it's super important to know where you're getting screwed up on these lines from Prizepicks. They're not your friend. They're not trying to give you good lines. They're not trying to help you with these past 5. So don't take this into too much consideration. You have to be using data to find out what is the actual correct play here. So we're going to grab the under. I'm not saying the under is going to hit. I'm just saying it's more likely to hit. So you should be playing props that are more likely to hit in your favor rather than giving Prizepicks an extra edge with 8 passing yards. Now, who are we going to pair this up with? Higgins. We're going to grab Jaden Higgins on the under 53.5 receiving yards. If one guy is going under, you want the other guy to go under too. If we're taking overs, we want to take both overs, obviously. Now, Higgins, again, we're getting an extra receiving yard. So not only are we getting 8 passing yards on the quarterback, we're getting 1 extra on the wide receiver. And if you check the past 5 games, you can see 1, 2, 3, and 5 they hit together. And Rocco, you can see here 1, 2, 3, and 5. So these guys all hit together in the past 5. I know I said don't check past 5 in terms of stats, but when you're checking correlations between 2 players, you want to see like past 10 games these guys are hitting together. That is strong enough evidence to put them in the same stack. Plus, it's just common sense wide receivers get thrown the ball by the quarterback. Rocco has to be throwing the ball to someone. If he's not throwing a lot of yards, wide receivers are not going to be receiving a lot of yards. Very common sense. So we're going to go into the NBA to finish it off. And we're going to start with Tyus Jones. We're going from the stack from last night. I'm going to be grabbing him on the over 6 assists. Now, don't think I'm grabbing him on the over because last night he hit over. Again, I'm going based on data. So Tyus Jones, you can see on the sportsbooks, he's set at 6.5 assists. We pull it up here, 6.5 assists. Yes, juice mainly towards that under. We're grabbing him at 6. And similar to Van Vliet from last night's pick, I didn't like him at 8.5, but I liked him at 8. So Tyus Jones, similar concept. I like him at 6, not 6.5. If it was at 6.5, if they do move it, grab the under. Now, who are we pairing this with? Jordan Poole again. There is no straight value on his over or under. You can see 50-50, minus 115 each. But because we're grabbing Tyus Jones, we want to be taking Poole on his over. This stack has it 8 out of 11 times, including last night where you saw that they both went over together. So that's going to be the second stack of the entry. To end it off, we're not going with a stack. We're just going with some straight positive expected value. And you can see the first one here is Anthony Davis, under 12.5 rebounds, set at minus 129 or 56% likeness to hit. Grab him to start it off. And you could see he got moved. Why is he getting moved? Because it was too good value at 12.5. So that just goes to show you that these picks are good, because Prizepicks would not be moving these lines if they weren't. They would have set him to 13 if 12.5 was a bad pick. So obviously we can't go on Anthony Davis anymore because that line got moved. We don't want to grab him after a 0.5 change. Every point counts, every half point counts. We're going to go to just pure value plays. And the first one here is going to be Nicholas Batum, under 1.5, 3 points made. It's not the best, but it's at 55% likeness to hit. So pretty decent to throw into the entry. And the next one we're going to go with is not Poole under PRA. We already grabbed his over points. It's not Denny over points. We're going to go with Luka Doncic under 31.5 points. We're getting a full point extra on all the sports books, plus 52% likeness to go under 30.5. We get that full point in our favor, and every point counts. So we're going to lock this one in, 80 for 2K.